Hi guys, it's Amy, and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate the fact that you clicked on my video. Today's video, I've got another project for you out of my One Skein Wonder Book, and this time we're actually using some thread. So it calls for Aunt Lydia's, as we all know is the name brand, but we've got, what I've got is my 3 is in a red heart. I do have some Aunt Lydia's, but it's in a 10. So I have used some thread a little bit. My sister, a couple years ago, my sister requested, I don't remember how the conversation went, but I made some dresses for Claire, my niece, out of some thread. And so that was really the first time that I had gotten into it and started using it, because it can be pretty intimidating, let's be honest. And the thread always reminds me of like doilies and little tiny intricate detailed type work, and who's got patience for that? Not me. But it always does remind me of my mom's best friend Janie used to come over to their house, and while we would be playing, our best friends would be playing, the mom best friends would be crocheting, sitting at the kitchen table, and Janie always made doilies or worked with like a 2mm hook, always worked with tiny little thread, and I just was always amazed by it, and it was always so inspiring, and I thought she was like magic because she could do that. So now that I've got a little bit more experience under my belt and I'm not so afraid to use it anymore, I really enjoyed working on this pattern. It worked up so quickly. So come on down to the tabletop and join me for the Bloomin' Blossom coaster set. Alrighty guys, I hope this shadow here doesn't bother anybody through the video. This is the book that I am getting my pattern out of today, and I just wanted to share with you how beautiful it is. I often make coasters out of, regular worsted weight cottons or even acrylics. So to use this one from the thread page, I thought would be a lot of fun. So not only can you make it in the round, but you can make it in the square. And as you'll see here in a minute, to use different yarn, you can use this pattern to make even like granny squares. I thought it was really cute. So as you can see here, the sizes of the square is a 3 3/4, and the size of the round is 3.5 in diameter. The yarn that they're calling for is actually size 3 thread from Aunt Lydia's, but as you saw, I have Red Heart, which is just fine. Just as long as it's 100% cotton, I suppose. And this calls for a 2.75mm hook. And the gauge it tells you to do for the first 4 rounds is going to be 2 3/4 if you're using that 2.75, or change your size hook as needed to obtain the gauge. Once you've got your slip knot onto your hook, go ahead and make a chain of 6 and then join it with a slip stitch. 3, 4, 5. There's my 6 chains, and then I'm just going to go right into that first one and pull through and pull through. And then make sure to work over your tail. So I wrap mine around right now. And then I pull tight back here. All right, so then we're going to chain 1. And you're going to put 12 single crochets into that ring. And for me, it's just such a pain in my eye to see. I use a stitch marker for sure. So get that first single crochet marked. Okay. And then work 11 more of them. And when you've got 12 single crochets in the ring, I'll meet you back around. So here I am with my 12 single crochets in the round, and you're going to slip to that first single crochet to join the round. Whoops. Take out the... There we go. All right. So for round 2, we've just got that cute little ring so far. So for round 2, we are going to chain 3 and then double crochet in the same stitch so that you've got 2 in the first stitch, 2 double crochets in that first stitch, and then you're going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch around. So at the end of this round, you're going to have 24 double crochets. So in each little guy there, you're going to put 2 of those double crochets. And I will meet you back around. All right, I've come back around to the end of round 2, and I've got 24 double crochets. Now, if you prefer to do some other method of starting around like this, like I've shown you a seamless method, but in this case, the work is so tiny that I don't think that it matters that much. And I just went ahead and did a chain 3 for my first double crochet here. So go ahead and join that stitch to complete round 2. So before I start round 3, I'm going to go ahead and sew in and tie off my beginning strand so it doesn't get in my way there. It takes a little bit of strength to get that thread through. Okay, so let's snip that off. So to begin round 3, we're going to do a chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet between the 2 double crochets. So here's the one that we came up out of. We're going to go between that one and the next one and do a single crochet. And then I'm going to go ahead and mark mine. Oops. So there you are with your single crochet just in between those 2 double crochets here. So then we are going to chain 3, 2, 3, and we're going to skip 3 double crochets. So here's our single crochet here, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go right in between that one there with a single crochet. Chain 3, skip 3 double crochets. So here's one that we're going to skip because there's our single, 1, 2, 3, and in between these 2 here, that's where you're going to put your next single crochet. And we're going to keep doing that all the way around. We want 3 chains, and then here's our single. So we're going to skip these 3 double crochets and do a single crochet right in there. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3 double crochets we're skipping, and do a single crochet between the 2. Chain 3, skip 3 double crochets. Here's my single, 1, 2, 3, and do a single in between these 2 right here. Chain 3, skip 3 double crochets and do a single in between. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, skip 3 double crochets and do a single in between. 1, 2, 3, and now you should be back at your beginning single crochet where we did that first chain 3, and you're just going to slip stitch right into the single. So now you should have 8 single crochets and 8 little chain 3 loopies, little spaces. Oh, this thread is so hard to work with. So 8 of these spaces and 8 single crochets. All right. And we'll go ahead and move that stitch marker. And this is what you look like for the end of round 3. Our little chain spaces are here. Okay, so to begin round 4, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet in the same single crochet that we just came up out of. And we're going to mark that. So then what we're going to do is work into these chain spaces here, and we're going to create the petals. So first we're going to do a half double crochet, and then we're going to do a double crochet, and then we're going to do a treble crochet, which is wrapping it twice. Go into it like you're going to do a double crochet and just pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. This just is taller than a double crochet. So we're going to do 3 trebles in total. There's 1, and then here is 2, and then here is 3. And then we're just going to go back down the side of the petal with a double crochet, and finally a half double crochet. So here is what your petal looks like. You start with a single crochet on the single crochet, and then on that chain you do a half double, a double, 3 trebles, a double, and then a half double. So now we're back around to doing a single crochet on top of that single crochet from the row below. And that's it. So just repeat that for all 8 of your chain spaces all the way around. I'll do one more with you. So we've got a single crochet on that single crochet, and then into that chain space we're going to do, whoops, we're going to do a half double, a double, a treble. We're going to do actually 3 trebles. So now here's the middle treble, which is the peak of our petal, and then we start to head back down with one more treble, and then a double, whoops, and then a half double. And each time we do a single crochet on the single crochet, and that sort of brings our petal to fruition. All right, so go ahead and repeat that all the way around so that you've got 8 petals, and we're going to slip into this first single crochet, and I'll meet you back there. All right, I made it back around to the end of round 4, and this is what I look like. I've got, you can't see my little stitch marker back here, but we're going to go ahead, and I finished my last half double in this chain space. So I'm going to go ahead and slip to that first single crochet to complete my round 4, sorry. I was trying to concentrate there. All right, let's remove that stitch marker. And now we're going to start round 5. So what we're going to do is a chain 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now this is going to constitute a double crochet plus a chain 3. Then what we want to do is find the middle of that petal, so the middle of the 3 trebles, and we're going to do a single crochet right on the top. And then chain 3, whoops. And then we're going to do a double crochet down on top of that single crochet at the base of those petals. And that's going to be the repeat for this round. Chain 3, and find your center treble and do a single crochet right on top of him. Chain 3, and do your double crochet on top of that single, and chain 3, and go ahead and continue this all the way around. We're going to find that treble that's in the center and do a single crochet right on his head, chain 3, and a double down onto that single. And I will meet you at the end of this round. 1, 2, 3, single. When you get back around to the end of round 5 here, you're going to do a slip stitch into the 3rd chain so that it's the same pattern as all around, 3 chains here and then a double crochet here. So 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do our slip stitch right in here, and that is the end of round 5. Oh, get in there. Okay, there's the end of round 5. Okay, so for round 6, we are going to slip stitch right over into the chain space here, and we're going to do a chain 1, and then you're going to do 4 single crochet, whoops, 4 single crochets into this first chain space. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. I go back and I mark that one just because. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know he's the first of my round. Okay. And then in the next chain space, we're going to do 5 single crochets, and then 4, and then 5, and then 4, and then 5. So the way I was remembering it, instead of losing track, did I do 4 this time? Do I do 5 this time? Which do I do? What I did was I count my first 4, and then I continue counting until 9. So there's 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And that way I know I've done my 4 and then my 5. So now I'm going to start over to count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 5, 6, 7, scooch if you need to, 8, and 9. And that way I don't confuse myself whether it's a 4 or a 5 spot. So go ahead and continue doing that. You're going to alternate 4 single crochets, 5 single crochets, and count however you need to. 4 and then 5, and then 4 and then 5. And when we get back around to the end of the row, I'll meet you here. Okay, here we are at the end of round 6. You should have a total of 72 single crochets all the way around. And we're going to go ahead and slip stitch to that first one to join. And now if you're going to do this pattern in the round, then all you're going to do is a chain 1 and a single crochet in each of the 72 stitches around, and your project is complete. And so that's what that's going to look like. A little bit thicker border, but you just stop in the round. If you want to go ahead and continue on to the square, then you do not do that round of single crochets. You'll go straight from this point to the true round 7. So what you'll do is a single crochet for round 7 in a square. You're going to do a chain 1 and then a single crochet in the same. I'm going to go ahead and mark that. And now you're going to do a single crochet in the next 3 spaces. 1, whoops, 2, and 3. And now we're going to start to grow our stitches so that we create the corner. So what I mean by that is over the next 3 stitches, you're going to do a half double crochet in each of the next 3. So here's 1 half double. Here is the second half double. And here is the third half double. Oops. All right, and then you're going to do a double crochet in 2 stitches. So here's where our double crochet is 1, and then our second double crochet in the next stitch. And now you should be along that spike, and in that stitch there, he's going to get 3 treble crochets. So this is what's actually going to form that corner. So there's 1, wrap your yarn twice, and pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Oops. I hope I'm going to make it to the end of my thread here. Okay, I had 2 trebles, and then here's my 3rd treble in that same spot, that same stitch. So now we're going to go back down in size. We're going to do a double crochet in 2 spaces. So here's that corner where we created the 3. So don't skip any of these. Sometimes a single crochet can be smaller than his neighbor and easy to miss. So after the 3 trebles in the same spot, we're going to do a double crochet 1 in the next 2 spaces. And then we're going to do a half double crochet 1 in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Then you've got a single crochet in the next 4. So here's 1, 2, oops, 3, and 4. Okay, so there's our first corner. See how that gets built with the taller stitches in that corner piece? Okay, so now you're going to repeat a single crochet in the next 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do a half double in the next 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the next 2. And then you should be back at that spike. Ta-da! So that space gets 3 trebles. So wrap your yarn twice, or your thread in this case. Pull through 2, 3 times. So here's our second one. And here is our third treble in that same spot. Okay. So then we're going to start to work our way down in size again. So you're going to do a double crochet in the next 2 spaces. And then a half double crochet in the next 3 spaces. 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to do a single crochet in the next 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, you end up on that spike again because that is where our round started, basically. Our repeat starts. So you've just completed another repeat of 4 single crochets. So then our repeat starts again with 3 single crochets. If you want to just count 7 in between the corner pieces, then that's another way to do it as well. But go ahead and finish the next 2 sides on your own, and I will meet you back here to join. Okay, I've gotten around to the end of row 7, and I just have the single crochets left. Here's my last half double crochet here, and now you're only going to have 3 single crochets left on this last round. So here's 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go ahead and slip to that first one to join, and we are done. I'm going to go ahead and snip that off. And we are all done. I really like this pattern. I think it's really, really cute. It doesn't feel so delicate in the hand. I mean, you know that you're working with thread, so I feel, you know, a little bit different than my normal yarn work. But I really like it. And like I said, you can easily make this out of any type of worsted weight. Hear the storm outside. You can easily make this out of any kind of worsted weight and just make them into, you know, like granny squares to put together for a blanket. Here's the difference in the 2 hook sizes. The white one is the 2.25 and the blue one is the 2.75. All right, guys, thank you so much for sitting with me today. I do really appreciate your time. If you've made these before, let me know. If this has inspired you to make some now, let me know. I think that you can really do a whole lot with this pattern. So leave me comments if you're working on it. All right, have a wonderfully blessed day, and I hope you'll come back and see me again. Thank you. Bye-bye.